Go.
Good evening, Gooners. Good evening, football fans, and welcome to the Big Sunday Show. And I know it's Tuesday, but that's the name of the show. It is the Big Sunday Show. We've got a few more people joining us later, hopefully. Paul, the Big Cheese, should be here at some point, and maybe Aisha. But with me here at the moment, we have Statman Rich with a really, really silly name, which I'm not gonna say.
Oh.
And we've got the lovely Seema, who we haven't. Well, you were on a week or so ago, but I haven't done a show with you for ages, lovely. So how are you?
Oh, I'm so excited today.
Yeah,
two big guys.
Nice. And there's no massive sunglasses today blocking your view. Yeah. We know whose fault that was, don't we, Richard? How are you doing, mate?
Technical issues. I'm fine. I have a big one. That's my name.
Oh, for God's sake! Sorry, Seema. You've walked back into the madhouse, lovely.
It's a quiz night. You got to go with a quiz name on quiz night.
Okay, so we're here to talk about the Arsenal Man City game and everything Arsenal. But before that, I'm going to just play a quick intro video and then we'll crack on. All right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, guys, as I say, this is about the Arsenal Man City game that was played at the weekend. Very, very, what's the words I'm looking for? It's been turned into a bit of a taboo subject, hasn't it?
Well, again, it's gone into a slander, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Arsenal.
Yeah, so it's turned into a bit of a problem that shouldn't really be a problem. But we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about the game, obviously. And then if we've got time, we'll talk about whatever else we need to talk about regarding Arsenal. So, ladies first, I think, Richard, for a change, yeah?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah?
So when do you want to start?
I thought you were saying ladies first, Richard.
So was I.
No, Seema, I want you to go first, but only do the first half for the moment. Yeah, so break down the first half and what you thought about it, please.
Yeah.
Or I'll just put comments on the screen, all right?
Yeah. I mean, I thought first half was that we were all expecting it to be a bit shaky, right? Mm-hmm. Until they settled down, it was going to be that old rivalry coming through. And then 9 minutes, was it?
Yeah, it was 9 minutes. Well, 8.5 to 9 minutes. Yeah.
I mean, it was, honestly, it was a total shock. I mean, what happened? Arsenal fell asleep? I genuinely thought that they did.
To be quite honest, if you don't mind me coming in on that bit.
No, please.
Gabriel was out of position.
Exactly.
Which then put Saliba out of position.
Yeah.
And don't know if there was this is just my point of view. I don't know if there was a breakdown in communication between Timber and Saliba. And how do you say his name? That funny
Mendy.
Rangers. No, Regis.
Reinders.
Right?
Yeah.
He just kept running.
Yeah.
And obviously, the big lad Haaland kept running.
Yeah.
And the thing was, because certain players were out of position, he had options, and of course he went for Haaland and bang.
I mean, I also felt that there wasn't enough communication. It felt like even Gabby and Saliba were not actually communicating, because they have always been in sync. They literally don't even have to look at each other, and they knew what each other was going to do. But there was just no communication in this. And then you had Zubimendi in the middle, okay? And I think, again, him being there, Gabby not being in the scene, and then Saliba not being in the scene. And I think it was total miscommunication.
I want to add something to that if you don't mind. Richard, I'll come to you in a minute, mate. Sorry, mate. But I just wanted to add to this that I genuinely believe, and I think I said it at the watch along as well when I was watching it. If Mascara had been on the pitch, I think he would have stopped Haaland. I genuinely do. I think that's not taking anything away from Saliba. We didn't know how fit he was when he started the game, right? And I know he's the Rolls Royce defender, but for him to take Mascara off in this game was a bit weird, because he's done so well whilst Saliba's been off. Do you know? So, But the Bray's joined us now. Good evening, the Bray. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, it's a bit of a mad one. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, mate.
Yeah, that's good.
Have you heard what we've been saying?
No, I've literally rushed up.
We basically, well, Seema, say it how you said it, so Paul can get the idea.
I mean, I basically thought there was just no communication between Gabby and Saliba, and which led to the Haaland goal. We were just totally caught off guard, and also I wasn't really happy with how Gabby kept wanting to go up front. Mate, you're not up front. Stay behind. You're meant to be the defender. You're meant to be like looking after us. And had they been doing what they were supposed to be doing, I think, yeah, and like you said, I truly believe Mascara would have been there. And we have a history. Anybody who's off and has been off sick and had injuries, and they come back, they're not coming back fully fit. They almost come back like, let me get into it, let me pace it up, and then the pace doesn't catch up because it's just too much. And that was his first game back. Saliba, that is, by the way. I mean, this is what we were talking about, Paul, that how we thought, that goal was just total. It was a total mistake. It shouldn't have been. There was no communication going on, and we allowed it to happen, really.
Well, let's take it back a notch to that. And obviously, it was a Calafiori cross, which was a real poor cross where he actually was on the pitch. How he cut it back so much into that kind of area in the middle. I tell you what, I managed to pick up a couple of bits. That was basically what the ball come into. Not cut everyone off. 12 players in that little area. And I look at it and I think, Haaland starts it all off. And it's clever. But that defensive mindset of how we've set up, we've got our three midfielders high up the pitch. We've got Gabby, who is trying to press Haaland, which is what his job would be to do. Unfortunately, as the ball went on, it got nicked through, and he carried on. I think there were there were other things you can look at it, and I don't want to. I've got 4 photos, if that's all right, Des.
Yeah, that's cool, mate.
That's all I've got.
No, chuck them on whenever you want, bro. Chuck them on whenever.
If we look at the build-up on here, we talk about who's potentially to blame. Yeah, we know that play broke down higher up the pitch, and obviously Gabriel's obviously out of position, mainly because he is obviously trying to press in and squash him up. Saliba's position is wrong in his body shape.
Mm-hmm.
And from that clip, even Timber is pointing to him to look, to go, to track Haaland. So if he turns his body facing sideways on towards Haaland rather than the other way, it allows Timber to then potentially come inside a little more to then look after that space that the player's running into.
Mm-hmm.
And if it then comes out to the Doku, then not only have we slowed the play down a little bit, we've then also got, if we look back at as it pans on, that's where he should be going, the red line, and he should be out to kind of meet Haaland, and he should be getting there. Timber provides that kind of slowing down. Yeah. And if that ball comes down to Doku here, the ability to kind of come back through and actually block the pass. So that's where I'm thinking. My personal thing would be to say that is one thing where he's kind of not got right. I don't think he's going to be too totally out of sync with the kind of injury he had. He's played a lot of football anyway, and to have a kind of a knock on his ankle, I don't really think it's really a problem. And to be honest, the amount of times that we've seen breakdowns in communication with those two, well, you can count on one hand, I guess, on that side. But that's where I think we kind of lost it on that goal. and that's from my kind of understanding of how it should have happened. It's one of those kind of things where you look at it and you just think, well, look, if we were being defensive and we were defensive minded, we wouldn't be getting caught out like that.
Yeah,
I think the way City started surprised a lot of people. It surprised me on the terrace as well. I thought they started really well with their press. I thought we were finding it really hard to try and get through that first line. And from Raya, from Saliba, from Declan Rice coming in to try and pick up a ball, pick up a pass and look to play through. They were on it from that start. And yeah, I thought it was going to be a very long day because of how hard they made those central areas. And like you said, on that first clip with those 12 players, all of those kind of like central positions, it literally nullified any space whatsoever. And there was no space for Gyökeres to come in. I think he'd done well in all honesty, because it was a thankless task, I think, for him. And he was always running. He was always trying to press and harry down. He almost got Donnarumma as well a couple of times. So look, I'm going to leave it there for now. I'll let someone else chat.
I appreciate the evidence, Mark. Sorry, not Mark. Sorry, it's because I was reading one of Mark's messages. I apologise. Paul. Richard, you're chomping at the bit, mate. What have you got to say on it, bro? And then I'll the chat.
Yeah, well, I mean, very similar to Paul. I felt as a defender, Saliba should have been cutting the route out to Haaland. You know, Haaland's the biggest threat. You've got Timber to your right. He can either close Reinders down and let the ball go to Doku, or he can allow Reinders a little close home. One of the backtracking midfielders gets to him, and then make that decision to close Reinders down and put the ball wide to Doku, which means we've got better chance of defending the cross or shot coming in from that side. His positioning was all wrong. It's the first bit in the play which Paul showed is it's a bit of ping pong. Haaland gets a ball, nice ball round the middle, and then you've got to be defending your spaces better.
I mean, you can't like say anything about the run either. The run was just like relentless, and that's the hunger that you want from all of your players, really. You know you can attack the space and go and do it.
I mean, with the Gyökeres one, there was one ball from Timber over the top that he runs into in between the right back and right centre back, but they defend it well and it comes to nothing. Then there's the one from Marino that he gets, and he, instead of trying to take the Guardiola on and get a shot off, he comes back and passes it back, and then the one that led to the goal from forward pass. So we were attacking, and it was quite quick. Thing, and one of the clips I tried to get you to upload, was one that came from the left, and Royce, it looked like he'd underhit it to Madueke, and he sets Madueke out, but O'Reilly defends it well. So we were beating the press sometimes, and we were getting to them before they set the low block. But that final ball's got to be better, or that final action has to be better.
Okay, right. I'm just going to quickly go into the chat, guys, and then we'll carry on. Emerson, Seema, and Des, the Manchester City number 4. He took our midfield out of place. Just send a through ball to Haaland, and he did the rest. Well, yeah, he did. What we got? Well, we've got people saying hello to each other. Miss Melina, thank you for joining us in the chat. She's saying hello to BX. BX, thanks for joining us. Emerson, obviously. Everybody that's in the chat, thank you for joining us. Mark, thank you for joining us. What else is she saying? Big up, Mark. There we go. Mark's got a comment here. Let's have a look. Saliba is perfect. It is perfect. There is 3 options. The player can shoot, pass to Haaland, or slip in Doku. Saliba is try to cover 3 options. Timber should have ran in. Okay. Do you want to come back at that one, Paul? Or?
Yeah, like I said, I'd go back from just from my coaching stuff where you're almost kind of like said to kind of just almost play or face in the way that you're looking to kind of defend against, and you know that first danger is Haaland. That is that's your number one player I've got to get to. I've either got to slow him down or I've got to get to him. Make sure I get to him. Timber's the one that can slow down Reinders or Reindeer, whoever his name is.
He's called, yeah.
Timber can kind of come in and just kind of close that space up. Again, you can look at the way you kind of either face on the left of him or you can be a little bit closer. If you're playing on that, give him a little bit more space on that side, more in the middle, then you've got the ability to kind of get across. But as I said, I think that's where it went wrong. You're trying to slow him down, but we didn't do that because Saliba's had to turn. He's had to turn his body back round to go the other way, and then that slowed him down.
Marco, sorry, mate, go on, finish.
Look, it said it. That's look. It is a great counter attack. But again, just literally just a fundamental of kind of that defending side. I think he'll be quicker to Haaland if he is playing facing the other way, and he can sidestep.
He's got one more question for you, Paul, but I think you might have already answered it, mate. But I'll just put it up just in case. For Paul, a question. You're saying it's not defensive. Who is more attack-minded, Eze, Ethan, or Mourinho?
Well, different players, aren't they? But again, are they playing? Were the midfield playing as defensive midfielders in that game? I struggle to see a time when we've literally had 3 defenders or midfielders just sitting right in front of our defenders, which is what I would expect a defensive midfielder to be like.
Okay.
I think I'll come in on that one as well because Marino is a creative midfielder, but he's not the best creative midfielder we've got. There are better creative midfielders there. In Eze and thing, he's not a DM really, but he can play that position if we were short in numbers. He likes getting into the box late and getting onto things. That's where his forte is. If you look at him in Spain, he very rarely is playing a defensive role, but he does have some shortcomings. We know that. Arteta knows that, but Arteta obviously doesn't like what Nwaneri offers defensively or pressing, because otherwise he would have played him in the Liverpool game. He would have played him in the Man City game. He wants to make sure that we're a solid unit from front to back.
Seema, do you want to say anything about this point? I don't want to just have you sitting there looking pretty.
I'm just taking it all in because it's become very technical, and to me, it's just plain and simple, right? He played Eze in second half. Brilliant. He changed it because that's something Arteta never does. I was a bit disappointed. I didn't want to see Marino start. So it's as simple as that for me.
Yeah, you see, I was quite happy with the midfield. I was disappointed that Trossard started ahead of Eze, but Eze's midweek game was poor, and Trossard had a goal and 2 assists in these last 4 games. So I could understand it, even if I didn't like it personally.
But the only thing I was perplexed by, why did you not play MLS?
Because Calafiori's done nothing wrong, and Calafiori offers.
MLS had Haaland in his pocket in the last game. You know, when they played them at the Emirates. So go on.
Yeah, go on. You carry on.
No. I mean, if it weren't then, what's different now?
There you go, Paul. The floor is yours if you want it.
Yeah.
I think there's a few things. I think there has been times where Lewis Skelly has found to be a little bit not so much wanting as such. He's come up. No. I just think again lack of experience. Look, he's had a lot of exposure for football at his age. I don't think he's 100% fully there. I don't. But I also then look at Calafiori coming in and when he comes in and what he actually offers going forward as well. And I don't know. I'm not looking at him. I think there are games that will be suited for him. But then I think again it's going to be time will tell. I think on that side, I think with him, I think there'll be times where we suddenly say Calafiori will be needing the rest, and then he'll then want to switch it around. I don't think it's done. I don't think it's a sharp shot for it. But I think like last season, I think there was a couple of times where he had a right old struggle. I think one wasn't it the PSG game. Did he have the PSG game? He had a good look. That's an unbelievable game to be playing at his age, and that's no disrespect to him. Yeah. He was up against a real tricky player. So you're going to get it, but it's all experience, and I'm sure he'll come back and he'll be playing. We'll definitely be playing on tomorrow, which we'll go into later, I imagine. So yeah, that's my.
Are you actually in Port Vale now?
No, I'm at home.
Right, okay.
So I'll be going over there tomorrow.
All right. Mark also says he set up defensively, and when we went 1 down in 9 minutes, City went to a low block, so even our right back and left back became attackers. We had all the ball. We did have a lot of the ball. I will agree, we did.
Yeah, but
I think at one point
we weren't
50%.
What part were we expecting Man City to do what he done? And when do we actually start thinking? So well, hang on a minute, he's thrown a spanner in for Arteta. And Arteta's thinking potentially it's going to be a different kind of way of playing, and then all of a sudden, out comes a different style, a different way of playing, and you have to adjust.
Can I ask a question then? Because I personally would have liked to seen in the starting lineup.
Yeah,
I would have liked to seen Eze in the midfield.
Yeah,
and Martinelli instead of Trossard. That's what I would have liked to have seen. I was a little like Simo. I was, and probably you guys as well. I was disappointed to see Trossard on the wing yesterday.
Yeah,
I wanted to see Nelly and I wanted to see Eze in the midfield. Okay. I've got to ask the awkward questions because I'm the host, right? I'm going to ask this one: who's accountable for the mistake? Is it the players or is it the manager? In all three of yours opinion, is it the players or is it the manager?
Is that leading up to the goal?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's in game. I think it's players in game. Yeah. That's an in-game motion. That's a random event. It happens in football.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Player decisions, and that comes from actually the way they move and the way they actually go towards the ball.
So, what do you say, Richard?
Well, I'm the same, and I'll say who's to blame for the City goal? Is it the players on the pitch for holding a high line when he's chucked all defensive players on, or is it Pep for
So you all agree it's the players, yeah? That's what you're all basically saying.
Both goals came from defensive mistakes.
I just want to get your point of view, right? What I don't like is there's a group of fans after the result yesterday. Sorry, not yesterday, because it's
Sunday.
Tuesday. I keep thinking this is Sunday because it's the Sunday.
Yeah.
After the result on Sunday, There's people shouting for Arteta to be sacked because of one result. What is going on with this fan base?
They're not fans.
Okay.
They're in disguise.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I hate this where it's suddenly come from now, where everything and it all stemmed through. I've done my blog and I mentioned about it as well. And it's also unfortunately stemmed from, and this negativity thing stemmed from that rubbish channel when they started going after the easy target in another manager, Arsene Wenger. Another story, another time. We've been there, done that.
Yeah.
It's come from there, and it always just seems like it's such an easy thing. Just that literally everyone is like an A+ coach. You know what I mean? Just that everyone knows better than the manager. And
I get where you're coming from. Yeah.
But look, everyone's got opinions. It is what it is. But again, look, what do we want? Do we want to be a club like Chelsea? Do we want to be a club like Man City? Again, I don't know, to change your managers, whatever.
Well, let's be honest. Pep's a checkbook manager. Let's be honest.
Again, but this is it. And look, we got enough dickheads in the media going against Arsenal.
Seriously?
Let alone everyone fighting and spiting against. And this is why we get ridiculed as a fan base, because it's solely it.
There's so much infighting. There's so much.
Why do we do it to ourselves?
Yeah.
It's like, you guys just say you don't want to be like Chelsea. They're losing 1-0 to Lincoln.
Oh, good.
Sorry.
I used to live in Lincoln. Come on, the Imps. No, but you're right, Paul. There is a lot of infighting in our fan base, and it's crazy. We all support the same team. This is what I don't get.
Yeah, but again, the narratives come out, and it's like it's almost like you didn't want him in as a manager to start with. You probably didn't want Emery to be sacked. It suits your narrative to suddenly say, "Yeah, I'm right," when it goes wrong. And some people don't like to be proved wrong, and some people don't accept that they could be wrong. So they carry on the narrative and they carry on their way of thinking. And again, you disguise it by, we want the best for the club.
A lot of it comes down to a certain channel as well. When they say something, so much of our fan base go, "Oh, they've said it. It must be true."
Yeah, rival fans. It's just like the goal celebrations. And I mean, are we saying now we can go and score 91 minutes against Man City at home, and we are going to be sterile? Yeah, I just want Martinelli just to go up like that, just point, and then just run back to the penalty spot with the ball. Or do we have 10 men going to run to get the ball all together and then run back arm in arm and then just stick the ball back?
Let me give you another situation as well, right? A legendary goal celebration, right, is the Henry knee slide. Yeah. Now, if he'd have done that after every goal, other fans would be going, "Oh, look, it's so, what's the word? Cringe." I've heard these words used, "Oh, it's so cringe, that celebration." Hold on, it's Henry's celebration. And if we want to celebrate it, it's like Gyökeres now with the get your mask up. You know what I mean? The Bane mask, whatever you want to call it. Oh, it's so cringe. It's cringe because none of your players are doing it. Because I tell you now, if someone was doing that in Chelsea, when Cole Palmer scores, they all do this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I totally agree with that.
But it's all fine until Arsenal do it. That's fine. And this is what it is. This is why I don't like. You know what I mean? Everyone should be behind each other. We shouldn't be.
Before I go into chat as well, I know I'm sort of like disjointing this a bit, but I've got to say this, right? Yeah. Yesterday, Donnarumma. Yeah. Why are they telling everybody, right, that a goalkeeper's got 8 seconds to get rid of the ball, otherwise it's a corner, right?
Yeah, well, it's in his hands.
And then they don't even act upon it, because I swear we would have had about 20 corners yesterday.
Yeah, it's when the ball's in his hands, not at his feet. Yeah. And that's what it is. So goal kicks, free kicks.
I didn't realise it was hands. I thought it was.
I think they said a stat, didn't they? Say a stat. He had what was about 15, 16, 17 goal kicks each, an average of about like 15 seconds.
So
roundabouts.
If the rule isn't working with hands, right? Because there's a loophole, obviously.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Make it feet as well, then.
Well, they'll have to do that next. This is what I said about the rules.
They're going to have to do that next season, aren't they?
Well, they probably will bring something in mid-season because they'll probably change it like they do. I said they should do it at the start of the season.
If Raya would have done it, City would have got a corner. I mean, I know now it's hands, but do you know, that's how you're left feeling. Do you know what I mean? It's like Arsenal do it. Oh, corner. Anybody else does it against Arsenal? That's all right. You know.
Yeah. It was the same with the yellow card for Arsenal as well, for preventing the ball going out. We got 2 yellow cards for that.
Yeah.
And then Haaland goes and pushes Raya over when he tries to move forward with the ball. That, in all honesty.
And I think Gabriel should have got a penalty yesterday when Haaland shoved him in the area.
Yeah, but they said it was light.
Of course it was.
It's sly. It's sly. That's it. It's like, you know what I mean? He knows exactly what he's doing.
It's the dark arts.
Yeah.
Right, I've got to go into the chat again, guys, because it's really busy. I'm really sorry. Yeah. The starting lineup was attacking from what I questioned on the Man City channel when they said we lined up for a draw. I feel Eze should have started over Trossard, though. Okay, thanks a lot, Retroholic, mate. Thanks for being here. Mark, let's see. If you don't turn it into an argument and have a discussion, I will jump on. Do you want him on, Paul? It's your channel, mate.
What argument?
What argument? We're not having an argument. That's what I'm thinking, yeah. Right. So, I don't know. We'll sort that out in a second.
Yeah.
Ange. Evening, Miss Millet. I was just saying good evening to someone. Sorry, I should read these before I put them up, really. Hente, thank you for joining us, mate. You're usually here. Can you see my comment? Yes, we can. There you go, mate. That's proof. There we go. Evening. Right, everybody's saying good evening to everybody. Oh, yeah, Ange is just saying, don't forget, guys, 7:30 on Thursday. We've got the Lady in Red show. Really good show about the ladies' game. Make sure you get along to watch that, please. Thank you very much. Show them some support. God, I did that all in one breath. That's amazing. So 1 second. Both teams just played cat and mouse match as Pep and Arteta know each other's game and tactics. I agree with that, to be honest. What do you guys think on that comment?
Yeah, it's always a cat and mouse game, and Arteta will hate losing to Guardiola more than anyone else. So
there's just one more comment, and then we can move on. Like Arteta, but he can't stay 10 years and potentially not win nothing. Though if he doesn't win nothing this year, do we keep him? Who wants to take that one?
I think he has to win a trophy. I don't think it has to be necessarily the Premier League or Champions League, but there has to be context behind the season, doesn't there? I mean, he could get to 3 finals and not win a single trophy and be second in the league again. So I'd like to see how the season goes before I make that decision, because you saying yes now and you get to 3 finals and you lose all 3 finals on penalties, that's very hard to you're putting yourself in a situation where you said he's got to go if he doesn't win anything, but he's been close and been unlucky.
Good evening, Mark. How you doing?
I'm very good. Paul, it's your channel. Do you want him on? What an introduction that is to the channel, bro.
Well,
thank you very much.
You're welcome, Mark. You're welcome.
The boss is here, mate. I had to ask him.
I appreciate that.
Nothing personal.
All right, this is not the Mark show. Can we get on to the football?
I forgot it started already.
Absolutely.
Look, we're only 5 games in, right? Why are we talking about taking Arteta out?
Can I answer that, actually? Can I come in on that?
No, I'm talking.
Sorry, on you go then. I'll talk. I'll go after you.
I mean, why do we need to have this conversation now? Let's wait till we get to maybe April. Does that make sense? Let him get all his new players in. Let them settle into the team. Let them gel, and let them start winning. And then we can talk about Arteta later. Let's just talk about the football games.
There's your gap, Mark. Come in.
Now you can come in, Mark.
There's your gap.
Sorry, I was muted there. So, yeah, I put out a podcast of fair criticism of Arteta, and the point that I actually put out there, and I want this massively put out there to the Arsenal fan base. 5 games. You guys are trying to say this about this manager that's led us this far. You're absolutely off your heads. It's like, it is insane. It's insanity. This manager has brought us to the point where we are today. Yes, I am frustrated with him, 100%, and I will call it out on the show. And the rest of the panel won't agree with me. But calling for Arteta is absolutely the most ludicrous thing that I've heard. We could have a discussion at the end of the season about where we're at. What I don't want this season is to be going back to context, because last season I done my own podcast, and I hope you guys watched it. I doubt you did, but I hope you did.
I watched it last night when I got in from work.
Yeah, I done my podcast, and I was very, very fair on Arteta, very, very fair on Arteta, where I criticised him for the way he set up against Man City. However, as a manager at Arsenal Football Club, the job this guy has done is second to none. We're only 5 points behind. That's all we are. Let's see where we are at the end of the season. My frustration comes with him being pragmatic in certain games. He's not like that every game. I was down at Nottingham Forest. We were absolutely brilliant. Arsenal fans are all singing off the same hymn sheet. Oh, look how good we are. Look at the squad we have. We're going to win the quadruple. And then the following week, we draw to City and it's sack Arteta. Let's not go there, guys. You're going from like one extreme to the absolute next. Yes, be frustrated, and I'll share your frustration tonight, 1,000,000%. Arteta out, get out of here, please.
None of us in this.
No, I'm just saying for that. I'm answering that question about. Arteta.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying none of us on this show want Arteta gone, mate. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
No, 100%. I know that. I'm just making that point clear before I speak about the game yesterday. The game yesterday is an isolated incident that frustrated 11 daylights. Not yesterday. You said yesterday.
I know it's because I'm confused. Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Not Sunday.
The game Sunday frustrated 11 daylights out of me. It's an isolated incident by Liverpool, and that's what we're here to speak about. We're not here to speak about Arteta going out, being out at the football club. He is the manager to drive us forward. And me personally, regardless of what I'm waiting to say next, I want him to succeed. I want to see that UCL trophy above his head. He deserves it more than any other manager. I want that so much. But frustration can be vented, and that's why I jump on.
That's fair enough. All right. So I want to go to this Hente comment, actually. I've been asking about Gyökeres. He had 5.6 touches in the opposition's box so far this season per 90. Is it individual or is it a team problem? Who wants to go on that one? Paul, do you want to go on that one?
Paul, go first.
Yeah, I think it is a team play. Play issue. It's the pattern of play. It's quite hard to certainly get that kind of space and that kind of way of playing, running onto the ball into space with teams that do actually come and kind of sit back, and they try and do it, and they cause us huge problems with that space or lack of space in those central areas. So, yeah, I think it's something that's going to morph through time. I think it will be I think there'll be games that will be better suited for him. But as I say, I think the return of Havertz, I think, will also be an interesting one for him as well when he comes back, because I think whether you like Havertz or not, I love him or loathe him. Again, in his fan base, he does offer you another bit. Yeah, there's a lot of work rate. There's a lot of stuff that goes on, and I think those two, in tandem, when they're both fit, it should start clicking either way. There's someone to come on for the other one or whatever. I just think there's a lot to change. I think just in the actual way, the way we play, the fluidity with all the new players. Eze still not. We're still not obviously hit the ground fully with them. But again, there's multiple players that are trying to get the understanding of how the team plays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Richard, what do you want to say about?
I mean, there is quite a bit where it's the team, but there are bits where he has to get used to us as well, and he has to do better. I'll pick out the Marino one. Pass to him into the right hand channel where he gets it. He doesn't take Vardio on and take a shot. He turns back and passes the ball back. Those moments are on him. But there are times like the timber ball over the top where we haven't found him quick enough, or the ball's been inaccurate. So and we've got to work that out, and it will be pain and suffering in why we work it out and get it flowing. But we knew that when we brought all these new players in, that it's going to take time to gel and get used to a different style of play. It's not going to go click and be fluid overnight. It's going to take time, and there will be times when it looks horrible, disjointed, and you've got to remember also, these players for the last 5-6 years have been playing one way. It's muscle memory. When they get the ball, it goes back into that space because there'll be a player there, not forward because there's a player running off the shoulder. So they've got to break that habit, that muscle, and retrain the muscle memory to a different way of playing.
Mark, your thoughts on the Gyökeres thing?
Yeah, I agree. Richard's actually brought up a key point there that I've not really thought about until he said it, and he's absolutely 100% correct. You've got so many new players, and you've got a team trying to gel. So we're not quite going to get these players, and you're right, Richard, about the memory. The memories, like, these guys have got, it's almost like Formula One, where you've got like 100th of a second to actually think and do something. So I 1,000,000% agree with you, Richard. That'll happen. But again, I think as well, and I said this all summer days in the shows that we did, I think that we have to stop, maybe give up a bit of the ball to get the best out of Gyökeres, or we need to go back to beating teams 5-0 again and opening up teams for Gyökeres to succeed. His three strengths for me is speed, power, and also finishing, and you don't get that against low blocks. And that's why when we spoke all summer, Des, we done our shows, we spoke all summer, I was like, I don't see this fitting at Arsenal. So I think something needs to change. But Richard, you're 1,000,000% right. Too many bodies. Arsenal never make 8 signings in one summer, and like all these new bodies, and everybody's doing something different, and trying to take on Arteta's thinking. So all this has to gel together. But I also think that Arteta has to get the best out of it. I like it. Sorry, I burped there. Sorry, Stephen. I do apologise. I know you're going to tell me off later. To get the best out of it, I put this for like, do you remember when Aguero played for Manchester City? You had that striker, and then Pep Guardiola had to change everything because he brought in Haaland, who would maybe touch the ball 5 times in a game, but he would still score 2 or 3 goals. I see the same similar kind of adjustment needed from Arsenal, if that makes any kind of sense to you guys. It does to me, but I think that adjustment needs to happen. We've kind of went from like that tippy-tappy football where possession-based and we're going to break teams down to we have to change our style of play and just have a batsman there and to make that work for Gyökeres. So this guy's a batsman, by the way. I'm not taking it away from Gyökeres. He'll score 30 goals in the right team in the Premier League.
Yeah, that change for City. That change for City didn't come that same season though as well. That went on the following season.
Exactly, 100%, Paul. It did. Yeah. You're absolutely right. It really did. But we need to adjust to that. So sorry, I'm overhogging, Mike.
That's all right. Seema, give me your thoughts on the Gyökeres question.
He's doing his job, right? He's a striker. That's his job, right? He's doing it. Yeah, like Richard said, you know, they've actually now got to pass to a striker. And I think it's that point is that they're not getting there because, like you said, their muscle memory is still passing to, you know, their left wing, right wing, whatever, you know. Mm-hmm. That's how I see it. Plain and simple, really.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just going to have 2 pence worth here as well, guys. So please don't mind. For me, everybody's shouting, Gyökeres is this, Gyökeres is that. 3 goals in 5 games is still a good return at the moment. Yesterday, there was a pass put to him, and if it hadn't have clipped off a Man City player's heel, it would have gone in front of him and he would have buried it. And we would have won that game 2-1.
Yeah.
But it went behind him. And if it goes behind a player, it can't be helped. I agree with Mark. I think he'll score 20 to 30 goals this season. But we do need to know how to feed him. And I will say this. Eze, the goal that Eze set up for Gyökeres is what Gyökeres needs. Yeah. I love Saka, but sometimes I just think he's a little bit greedy when he could pass the ball. Yeah, and there's been 3 or 4 times when Gyökeres could have just toe poked it in, yeah, or just tapped it in. Also, Martinelli, all right, he's found a bit of confidence now, and that's great, right? But he's got to start playing with his head up. And he's got to cross these balls sooner. You don't always have to run to the byline.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can cross it whenever you see a gap. What do you think, Paul?
No, I think again, wide play directness. Like this is what Madueke's brought in, and it was quite interesting to see how Saka came back because he looked very, very sharp when he come on. Again, just got a knack of doing it. He can stand a ball up as well, which is quite nice. And again, a player like Gyökeres should mop them up. But yeah, Martinelli again. Look, there is a player there, and I think we had this discussion where he does appear to be more suited for that European game, and the games that are a little bit more open. Where he can really get in there, but look, he has got intelligence because again the run was well timed, and yeah, if you do have someone like Eze or Odegaard with a pass like that, you're gonna get results.
Well, this kind of goes on to Retro. He's put a comment in, mate. I'll just bring it up because you mentioned Odegaard. Yeah. Do any of you think Odegaard has the potential when he gets fit to find the form he had in 22-23 season?
Yeah, I do. I do personally. I think me and Richard spoke about this, and I hate speaking to Richard, but this is why these shows are maybe becoming more tactical rather than just speaking them out, because Richard gets your head going in this direction. But me and Richard were talking about injuries. I think it was yesterday, Richard.
Yeah.
And in his confidence after a serious injury. Paul, you've had a few in your time as well, so you would relate to this. Once you've had a serious injury, you're not as confident doing the things that you previously done, with like in case that you flare up that injury again. And I think I saw that in Saka as well. I don't think Saka he maybe looked a bit sharp considering lack of game time. But I honestly believe that I think injuries are a massive, massive part on it, and confidence. The confidence come back from such an injury. But Des, just quickly for me, and I will go on mute, going back to Gyökeres, do you know where Gyökeres is going to thrive this season?
Go on.
And it was mentioned, it's in the Champions League. Paul, you mentioned that about Champions League and Martinelli is more suited. I think it's more suited for Gyökeres. I would not be surprised if Gyökeres is the top scorer in the Champions League this season, and Arsenal do extremely well because we will not be facing what we face in the Premier League.
No, I would say, look, they're more open games.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
what
exactly,
we're seeing now.
100%,
So.
and that's where Gyökeres will come to the fruits for Gyökeres will come through for me.
And you've also, and another thing is you've also probably got to realise that Gyökeres wouldn't have been starting Liverpool and Man City and probably Man United because if Havertz had been fit, because Havertz would have been the go-to striker, and we would have been slowly bedding in Gyökeres and giving him the lesser teams to find his feet against.
So
but because of Havertz, he's been thrown in the deep end.
So are you saying, Richard, we're basically rushing Gyökeres through because of the Havertz injury?
He's learning on his feet. Yeah, it's literally learning on your feet. We've had no choice but to make that integration faster than we probably would have.
Seema, your thoughts on it?
No, I agree with Richard. But then again, what do? We have no other option, right?
No, you got to roll the dice. That's that. Look, you've brought the player, but again, yeah, he probably was going to go toe to toe with them, and they would have had shared minutes, and it would have given them a time to kind of come in and yeah, learn, understand the game over here, because obviously it's massively different to the Portuguese league, and yeah, and I'd say, look, it'd have been interesting to see what we would have got if we'd have had a fit Havertz with the mix for what we've got now.
I saw Gyökeres interview this weekend. I don't know if you guys saw it as well. He's on a barge with a bloke from Sky Sports.
Yeah.
Who I've got to say sounded like a proper idiot. But not
Jamie Carragher, I mean.
No, I don't know who this lad was, but Gyökeres even turned around and said, yes, the Premier League is a lot harder than Portugal. And he's only played 5 games. Do you know what I mean? So,
well, he did get striker of the year.
Yeah, full. And again, if you look at his time in Portugal, it was against most of his goals were against the lower sides, and that's where we struggle. We have players to score against the Man Cities, Liverpools.
Yeah.
What we've traditionally struggled against are the lower side teams, and if he can score the goals there, that's what we've brought him to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't get how Gyökeres didn't win the Ballon d'Or, but I do know how he didn't get the Ballon d'Or, because he was playing in one of the lower 5 leagues, and they only get a point per goal. But people like Dembele and Mbappe get 1.5 points a goal because they're playing for PSG. I think it's totally crackers, really. But
do you know what? I actually agree with that system, personally. But what I would say is that the fact that his name's even mentioned, and I won't be Declan Rice, by the way. Fair play to Declan. I thought his standards were way down and quite disgusting. But with that, I think that his name being mentioned just shows how good a striker that he is, and we should applaud it. It's before Arsenal's time. So, but as an individual accolade,
I get you from that point of view. I do.
Yeah, from an individual accolade, like he's getting mentioned in there. And when he finds his feet, as Paul said, maybe it's going to take a year to fully get the best out of Gyökeres at Arsenal. Maybe that transition will take over a year to take place, and if that takes place over the course of a year, then we will have a Haaland. Well, but we need to adjust. We need to adjust to him, and he has to adjust to us.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Of course, and the thing is, even if it does take a year, like Paul says, he's young enough for it to, for us to carry on. You know what I mean?
100%. But do you know what that is? Even if it takes a year, I don't think it'll take a year in the Champions League this season. I think he will be our main marksman in the Champions League. I honestly do believe that. I think there's a possibility he could be our top goal scorer in the Champions League.
I've got another comment here from Hente. I'd be open to test Martinelli as a centre forward against Port Vale. Paul, you're going to be there. What's your thoughts on that, mate?
Yeah, Again, I've had reservations over Martinelli for a long time playing down the centre, mainly for the fact I don't think he's great. He's got the pace. I'll give him that, but that physicality side of things is always, or has always seemed to have been that letdown for him. Can he ride a tackle? Can he really take physical abuse on a pitch? You know what I mean? A big crunching tackle. Is he going to just dust himself off, brush him down, or is he going to kind of go into a shell and just kind of start holding his leg and just a little bit of a moan? I don't know. There's a player there, but as I said, it could be an interesting one. Again, what other options have we really got apart from Sao Trossard playing down the middle?
Please do that. Please do that.
Well, whichever,
or even Marino up top. Those are his options are realistically.
But
I've got to appoint me Trossard. I just don't. I honestly have got to appoint me Trossard. If I do not see him coming off the bench in major games, I just do not want to see him on the park.
Do you not think when obviously you see the lineup on Sunday and everyone was exactly the same, and it was like Trossard plus starting, okay, interesting. He had a different role to play. He wasn't tasked with being up and down the wing, and he was kind of just making it.
Did he play that role? Did he play that role though, Paul?
What?
Did Trossard play that role?
They come inside. He was asked to come inside and be a bit more of a presence and give another body in the middle of the park.
The box.
To try and probably get alongside.
Okay.
Their midfield and try and kind of give Rodri something else to think about, because again he was. I thought he was I wouldn't say fantastic, but again he's so efficient at what he does. Rodri, he just literally is just there in front of the defence and he just mops up. Don't need to go flying into tackles, and he's kind of there and just kind of mops up, and he's had lots of game time. But we needed to try and do something different, and again, Calafiore.
I don't think we had to do something different though. Why did we need to do something different?
What?
We won last season at the Emirates 5-1 against them. We've got a better squad now than we've ever had. So why, Paul? I don't get why it had to be different, and I honestly I don't get it at all. So what you're saying is, I'm listening to you and I'm taking in what you're saying. So what you're saying is Trossard's coming in to give the Man City, but Man City are going into a low block. So he's coming in to put an extra body in midfield to let Calafiore do the overlap. Then if we flip that around, we could have had Martinelli on the wing and have Milos Luskeli actually in Bert and have Eze being the 10 pushing forward and make it a lot more to really give Man City something to think about.
Let's put it another way, because this has got to go. All right, say we went with that. We're going back over old ground with regards to the game. Selection wise, I don't want to go into it. If we went more attack minded, as everyone kind of says we should have done. What happens if we actually went out and we come in at half time 2-0 down? Just hypothetically saying, we were 2-0 down, 3-1 down in the first half.
Game's dead, isn't it?
What's the thinking on it? Because I know we can't play swashbuckling football every single game. We have to be pragmatic in certain games. Liverpool away, we turn up with a team that's going to go try and rip the crap out of them. What's going to happen?
They score a wonder goal.
What's happened? No, what's happened previously when we've gone there and we haven't been
You lose 3-4-5-0,
which we've had years of.
Paul, you saying that we've got the best squad that we've ever had. Now is the time to actually go to these teams and actually. Des, I hope you pick up after Martinelli goal, because I really want to speak about that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it in a minute, mate.
I was just going to come in on one point very similar to Paul's. You've got to remember, Man City have changed their style. They brought in Pep Linders, who was under Jurgen Klopp. His style is pressing, and the pressing is very good. And I think that is why we had Trossard in, to have that extra body in midfield, in a midfield sort of area, to try and get past their pressing system. It didn't work very well, and that's something we've got to look at and review.
I thought at times he actually played. I thought he'd done some good stuff on the pitch.
Yeah, I didn't think he had a terrible game, but there were other players in our team who had worse games. But when you're put in place for Eze, and you're going to be scrutinised by the media and fans who want Eze in every game, scrutinising everything you do, aren't you?
The scrutiny is always on every kind of decision as well. Look at the one with Marino trying to.
You're damned if you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't.
Yeah, we do. Again,
right. So half time comes. Madueke gets an injury. I've heard ridiculous stories today that it's fake. It's a scam.
Yeah. Well, Arteta has come out and said it's a few weeks, which is it's a bit vague, but
it's 2 months.
But he said he's got a scan next week.
No, Ornstein and Fabrizio both came out. It's 2 months. He's out for 2 months.
Yeah, he's come out and said he's going to be out for a few weeks, but yeah, the prognosis is around 2 months.
Yeah, he's going to know more once they've had a second scan.
With another scan next week, yeah.
Right, so on comes Saka, right? Paul, break down the second half for us, mate.
Much to the same, really. Lots of huff and puff, and like I said, I thought Saka coming in was really good. I thought he was sharp. He was looking to make things happen. But again, like we talk about fluidity and everyone knowing exactly where everyone is. It's just that little bit either too slow, a little bit wayward, and not to where it needs to be, which comes with time, and certainly a little bit later in the season, typified of an early season fixture. In all honesty, you look at it like that. It's been broken up with the internationals as well. That doesn't help. And then, it isn't as crisp as what we want it. But as I said, deeper and deeper, we get. How far do you want to go into the second half?
As far as you want to go, mate, and then I'll bring the other people in. I will bring the
deeper and deeper. We make our changes, but then we get to that 84th minute, 85th minute. I can't tell you what our formation was. We were sitting in a stand and we're behind the goal. We're like, I can't actually tell you what our formation is. That's how many players were playing in high advanced positions for a pragmatic kind of way of playing. And I look at it and it's crazy. We go and score, and then I'll leave it there. We score, and then there was another meltdown with everyone, and celebration police were called out and all sorts.
That happens at every Arsenal game, mate. We're not allowed to celebrate, bro. We're not allowed to celebrate. It's ridiculous. Seema, because you haven't said anything for a while, your thoughts on the second half, sweetheart?
Kind of got bored. I got frustrated, and
were you actually at the game? Were you actually?
No, I wasn't at the game.
Okay.
No, I watched it at home with my son. So we were both shouting and screaming, and then we were both like, quiet. Quiet. It was like, what is going on here? Why couldn't we just get through? And then, like Paul was saying, celebration police, that really, seriously. I mean, there's a video, Zubimendi picks up the ball, takes it back, and he's been held back. Then there's a VAR check. Like, what is wrong with people?
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
But the point was, right, there's that Facebook group, and someone had put it on there. And I was like, hang on a minute. We had this last year when we went, and we parked the bus, and all we did was go there for a draw, and all we did was defend. What was City doing?
Thing is, they were parking the bus. We weren't parking the bus.
No,
second half, we definitely were not parking the bus.
No.
That's what I said. Look at the average positions of all of our players.
Yeah.
And that tells you a massive story about the game. And that tells you how pragmatic or how kind of defensive Arsenal were in that whole game. If you actually look at those actual positions, and oh my God, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, hit us with it, Richard. What's your thoughts, mate?
Well, we definitely needed the changes at half time. I'm glad he didn't wait to the 50th, 60th minute as he usually does. He saw it wasn't working. He brought those changes on. And did it really work? We huffed and puffed it. We got into some promising positions, but didn't come anywhere. And then we got to round about the 84th minute, as Paul says, and you sort of score that goal. I mean, you the second half stats, 8 shots to 2 is what the second half stats tell us, but only 2 of them were on target, and I think that's the biggest indictment of our game. We had six shots off target, and I think 3 on target all game. So that sort of tells you where we need to have improved in that game to have got anything more than a draw out of it.
Okay, cool. So I've got to ask before I go to Mark, right? Because Paul did go up to the Martinelli goal. Did you all celebrate the Martinelli goal?
Oh God, yeah.
You did. Did you celebrate the Martinelli goal, Mark?
I did. Yeah, I did. But the first thing I said was, I'll tell you, you've got away with one there. I see, the thing is, like, I love Arsenal Football Club as much as you guys, much as
carry on, Mark. Carry on.
I love Arsenal Football Club as much as you guys, and me and Paul are very close, like closer than you could ever imagine, and he knows my feelings on this, and I want Arsenal to dominate the Premier League. I want Arsenal Football Club to have the mentality to go on and do something extraordinary. I believe that my journey through this process is going to bang, and I think it's bang. It's got to bang now. I think it should bang now. So when we speak, that's a little bit behind it. Building up, Arteta done brilliant at half time. We realised that he made a massive mistake, and he changed it at half time. Madueke, I wasn't happy at that at all, Des, going off. But however, he was injured. Fair play. I didn't know that at the time.
Yeah.
Then we go into this. We go into the rest of the second half. The substitutes that Arteta made to try and change this game came at the usual times for Arteta. It was the 84th minute before Trossard was whipped off that pitch. 84 minutes, Trossard survived against a low block. Now, when I say low block, imagine what I'm thinking at this time. We're playing West Ham, Sunderland, these teams, and our manager is making changes of Trossard in the 84th minute. It's ridiculous. Martinelli came on. Sorry,
Let him finish, Rich.
Yeah, I'll let you finish.
Martinelli came on, and I think it was the 80th minute. Martinelli came on, and then we saw pragmatic. Sorry, I'm not saying it properly.
Pragmatic.
There you go.
Yeah. Substitutions afterwards as well. And I'm glad Paul's back. And I'm going to touch on the celebration police as well, because I really want to tackle that one. However, when Martinelli is doing his knee slide, and half the team, including Gyökeres, because I was watching all of them run to him, I was disgusted. This is a very pure Man City side. This is not the best Man City side that we've ever seen. Arsenal Football Club, you could right now, I have been on podcasts, I have shared my time arguing against KC, and I've had to eat not American pie, by the way, Seema. I never eat American pie, but a humble pie, I've had to eat it. Regarding KC. They've delivered. They have delivered. But we still do not have the freaking mentality where we're celebrating a 1-1 against Man City. There's still plenty of minutes to play. In this football match. But we're doing knee slides like you're on me and we just won the Premier League. Sorry, not good enough for me. Don't do your celebration. Let the fans celebrate. Put your finger up. 12 of you run in the box. Go and smash Man City players. 3 of them were actually bullying Zubimendi, the one guy that did actually have the mentality to say, no City, you're our bitches. We're putting the ball back in the spot. We're coming for you. We're ready to win this game. Because we're ready to win the Premier League. Just please. We're ready to win this game. And I do not care what you're doing, anything else. But half of our team, our manager, all the coaching staff were all celebrating. That infuriated me so much. 2 minutes later, Zubimendi's taken off. And we put Mosquera on, a central defender. Pragmatic? No, it's not. You're absolutely right. Let's go through this process for the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, not win any trophies and think, it's okay, we're all doing great here. How about we just actually get a pair of cojones and say, let's freaking do it. Run over.
Yeah, I've got a couple rebuttals or points for you to come back at, Mark. The Trossard one. Do you think if Madueke had been fit, that Trossard may have been replaced and Madueke would have stayed on the pitch because with Saka on the right?
That's a difficult one, Richard, but you could have pulled off, at half-time you could pull Trossard off and you could put Martinelli on.
Yeah, but... and I get that. My thing is, then that's 3 substitutes, and you've got 2 left to make like later on in the match. And I think he's thinking probably would have been just.
But one of his substitutes, the last one that I just mentioned, was Mosquera coming on.
Yeah, and that was my second thing. At the point we bought Mosquera on, it was the 90-something minute.
98th.
Man City had a free kick. Now, Rodri, Guardiola, Diaz, and are all 6 foot plus. Zubimendi's 5'9". He took Zubimendi on and put a 6'2", 6'3" Mosquera on to make sure that we didn't concede from a set piece in the dying minutes of the game.
The game still
I get it's frustrating, but
the game still went on for another 3 minutes. So when Arsenal are facing a corner against a high opposition, Richard, my rebuttal to you, and it's not disrespectful, mate. When we're facing a corner against 6'5" defenders, etc., we don't make substitutions to change up. We have very top players. Arteta has deliberately went in and got very top players. We've got what 1, 2, 3, maybe under 6 foot. That substitution made no sense to me. That substitution told me the way that I felt and the Arsenal fan base felt. You set this game up.
No, that's the minority, Mark. Don't include me in that one.
I'm not including you. I'm saying
I'll tell you what,
because you're saying Arsenal fan base. I'm not part of that fan base.
Spin it around, Mark. We go and play. We've taken off a large chunk of our defensive shape to get back into the game. Mm-hmm. And we've got 3 minutes where, yes, we're still dangerous. We could still potentially nick a goal to get the winner. But if they go up the other end and go and score to make it 2-1 Man City, how would you feel then?
I would feel at least that you actually done it, Paul. If you're going to win a Premier League, you do not do it all the time by percentages. There is times that you need to do a Liverpool and just have a bit of luck. Liverpool are showing it in the Premier League right now. We are showing we're still playing percentage football.
Liverpool tend to win their games after the 90th minute, Mark. Wake up.
Okay, I see, man. We're talking about 98th minute, so I'm
irrelevant. It's irrelevant. You're not happy.
How is it?
You're not happy with anything. If he makes the right thing, you're not happy. If he does the wrong thing, you're not happy. Like
I never said that, Seema.
No, speak for yourself. Don't speak for the fan base because that's really
okay. So I'll speak for a section of the fan base.
No, you speak for yourself. Do not.
Okay, I'll speak for Mark Taylor and 50 or 60% of the fan base that are really frustrated this weekend, Seema.
No, they're not.
They're not. So it's only
a handful of shitheads that are bloody well filling that.
Well, I'm a shithead.
No, I'm not saying you. I said there's a handful of shitheads, okay? Don't associate. You want to associate yourself with it. That's different.
Please, guys, please calm down a little bit, please, eh?
Yeah, but it's just winding me up because there's just no point in it. It's like you're constantly like just. Have you got anything good to say about the team?
I did. I've said loads of good
things. Well, literally no, because you spent 99 of slagging it off.
Yeah, I didn't want an argument. That's why it was like not going to come on.
No, it's not about it. Everyone has a say in it.
My issue is we can't celebrate a goal because we need to get the ball back to the halfway line, onto the spot.
But then we wait for a VAR.
The trouble is, hold on.
Yeah.
The trouble is, who kicks the next ball?
Yeah.
Who starts the game off, Mark?
Who does?
City. Right, yeah. Okay. So they can take, as long as they want, to take the kick off. Plus, we then chuck in, we've got a VAR thing. So why should it be so sterile that there is no joy in football for a moment of that magnitude as a player?
Paul, as paying spectators going down to a football club and watching a game, we should be jumping all over the stands. For the players, I want them to say, City, I don't care if there's a VR check. I don't care if there's anything. This ball's coming on to this. See, when you kick this off, I'm taking it off you and I'm going down the other end and I'm scoring.
But it's no different.
And I want it because I want
time.
But that mentality going in, Paul, see when you do that, that mentality goes in. We're not finished here. We're coming back at you again. That is the mentality we should be having. Zubimendi done that. The rest of the team ran and everyone's celebrating. I don't care if Arteta celebrates. I want the players to run back and say, City, we're coming again. This is Arsenal Football Club. I'm pretty
certain we did that a couple of times under Arsene Wenger, and then we ended up conceding a goal about 2 minutes after. I think
maybe
that's
another story. The right mentality. It's the right mentality. I'm not happy with the draw against Manchester City at home.
Because we celebrate doesn't mean that we're not wanting to push on and go for something else. That's what I'm getting at. There's no change in the game state. We've had to wait for a VAR check. There's nothing there. You've created euphoria in the stadium. There's a noise there. There's a desire to go and do something.
It's mentality, Paul. Paul, it's mentality. And the mentality has to be uplifted, in my opinion.
Oh, mate. Okay.
Right, if you aren't happy with that, I'm sorry, but
Yeah, no,
that's
that's
my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm not a shithead.
I just think you're just saying you can't celebrate a goal.
Mark, I don't think you were being called a shithead. She said a certain part of the fan base are shitheads, so she wasn't calling you one.
And I repeated it.
Genuinely, I don't think Seema was calling you a shithead, mate.
It doesn't matter. Let's just keep talking about the football.
Well, I don't know where to go with it now. 1 second, give me a second. So,
Richard, what's your take? Do you understand grabbing the ball and putting it back on the halfway line of that mentality?
But there was that period of time where the VAR check was going. In that time, Zubimendi was getting the ball, and the others was celebrating. We're talking like this City is a lower half team. They are still the third best team in the league. They are still going to be a very tough team to beat.
There was no way we were going to win 5-1 or 5-0.
No,
I said that straight from the start. I said it'll be a tight game. There'll be no
in
way.
fact, I mean, the only on our shots fired, the only person who predicted a bigger score was you, which was 6-0. Everyone else was a 2-1, 3-0 or 3-1 by a couple of goals. We all thought it would be tight. But I don't think you were being serious when you said 6-0.
No, I was being serious. I was being serious.
No, fair enough. That was me.
A bit bet on it as well.
But everyone else was by 1 or 2 goals, apart from Dan, who was being really nice to us. But I mean, and I'll take it back to one of my shows where I did the early season predictions before we got any players in. And I said these 6 games I expected 10 points from. I expected draws at City and Liverpool, and a draw at either a draw at United or Newcastle, and the rest would be wins. So I am where I expected to be, but a game earlier.
Fair enough.
What are you thinking for Newcastle then? What do you guys think for Newcastle? Do you expect Arsenal to attack at Newcastle? Are we happy that we're going to defend, but know that it's a tricky place? Like, it's just honestly, I'm going to add this in because I'm doing a show tomorrow. I'll be interested to see where your heads are at. Are you happy?
You go there and be solid and
take a draw.
No, you don't go.
Yeah,
and Arteta won't go for a draw.
Liverpool got out of it by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah,
if you remember
you
that.
Go there.
Unbelievable.
You go there not to be beaten. That's
So let's set up defensively. And I'm going right to this with you guys because I don't want to argue. I don't want to argue with you guys. So we set up defensively against Newcastle. I want to see where your heads are at the end of the season.
Yeah, right. I'm not saying set up defensively. You can go 4-3-3,
solid,
but still be defensively solid. If you're going 5-4-1, that's defensive. But all I'm saying is, you go there. We know what Guimaraes, Joe Linton, and Tonali are in the middle of that field. They will put elbows about. They will put the boot in, and it's going to be tough and physical. So you want players like Marino, you want players like Rice, and you want somebody like Zubimendi who can stand up to that physicality, yet still be able to go forward and create something. Newcastle won't sit back against us. They will come and attack us, and they will give us opportunities going forward. Arteta's got to get the balance right and the team right, as he does always. And if he doesn't get it right with his starting lineup, he's got to get it right with his subs. But you can go to 2 away games with a Marino. And let's be honest, Marino won't be starting if Odegaard's fit. It all depends on that Odegaard fitness.
I mean, when you look at Newcastle, they are relentless. If you watch that Liverpool game, they were relentless in the way they attacked, and they were very unlucky to not actually got that win. But what is potentially going to give you the best chance of results? Keeping it tight and getting somewhere, or being, say, potentially 1 or 2 down by being open.
Are you asking, Paul? Sorry, because I've
anyone.
Sorry,
Mate,
because I've lost track of everything.
Mate, tell me about it.
Yeah, no, I mean,
what day is it?
Yeah, I don't think you have to be. I mean, we'll use the word pragmatic because it's the buzzword at the moment, but
just solid.
It's solid. It's combative, and it will run.
That word, by the way.
Yeah. But what Marino does, and what Royce does, and what Zubamendi does, and I'm sure somewhere somebody has those stats, is the amount of running they will do in that game. They will outrun most of Newcastle's midfield. Now, that's not pretty, it's not attractive, and people won't like it. But sometimes you've just got to outrun your opponent, out-muscle them, and outfight them. And Newcastle is one of those teams you've got to do that with, unfortunately.
I said, how many times have we get labelled as being soft and got a soft underbelly, and everyone hated it. Absolutely everyone hated it. Soon as we're now relevant, and as soon as we're kind of competing, and we're getting a little bit more into people's faces and causing issues, it's now we don't actually want that. We want pretty football, and not saying it's not pretty.
I think we play some great football. I really do.
I mean, to label it potentially as loosely as George Graham football, which is I found it quite funny.
I genuinely thought we played some really good football on Sunday. I genuinely do. It's just they had a bit of luck. They had, what's the old saying? Take your chances. They had a chance and they took it. Do you know what I mean, Paul?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Yeah, that's on at the weekend.
Did it also feel like forever though when Martinelli did score that goal? Did it also feel like forever when it was going in the net?
Yeah, it was like slow-mo.
Yeah.
And you can just see Donnarumma going,
oh shit!
Again, it seems like every Martinelli goal is kind of the one in Bilbao. I had my fever pitch moment, and I kind of, as soon as he made the first touch to then get the second touch in front, I'm literally cowering down, and I'm suddenly like, ah!
we love the Bilbao goal, mate. But me and Richard were more excited about seeing you in the crowd.
I saw you too.
Actually, Paul, you'll be a 75-inch TV, by the way.
No, okay, fair enough.
You appeared on my TV, it's broken.
He broke it when he saw you. He threw something at the TV.
Right? Can I just say one thing? Right?
Yeah.
The mere fact that we've got everyone, including these stupid TV pundits, talking about us, clearly Arsenal have got something going right because we're rattling people.
Yeah.
But Arsenal always does rattle people. See, I know what you're saying.
We're full on rattling because
but we're relevant now. We're now relevant, and people actually are worried now.
Exactly.
That's the big difference.
Yeah. Now. See, they cannot accept that we took on City and we came out with a draw. Because what did Pep do? He actually copied Arsenal in what we did, right? We went last season, we went there and we defended. And he wanted to do exactly that. And he said it in his speech, right? Yeah. In his little interview thing that he did. Yeah, Arsenal are a really good team and I had no other alternative but to do that. Of course you didn't.
Yeah, I mean, there is a question for you.
Yeah.
Or a point for you, Mark. If we go to a West Ham game and we play Marino, Rice, and Zubimendi, I wouldn't be happy with that because West Ham are dog shit, and we don't need that midfield to beat them. But against a bigger team like City, like Tottenham, like Newcastle away, if Odegaard isn't fit, that would be my go-to midfield. So as long as it's not every single game, could you in certain games and certain situations be happy with that midfield three?
Yeah, absolutely. I love Mourinho, and I said that to you, Richard. I spoke to you yesterday, and then tried to like we spoke it out brilliantly yesterday, and I gave you my take on it, and I said if Ethan had started the game and it wasn't Mourinho, I would have been delighted. And then if we got to 65 minutes, we're still 1-0 down, and he brought Mourinho on to go and support Havertz, I would have just saw no Havertz Jokeris. I would have been ecstatic, Richard, at that because I could see what Arteta was doing. But I just felt like I just want Arsenal to have a different approach to games. And I do get like we could go gun ho and we could be 2-3-0 down, and then all of a sudden the game's over and done with. There's nothing you could do. You've lost the game, and you're right, Richard. We'll go back to last season. We had 14 draws. I think it was. I think it was 12 or 14.
Many draws last season.
Yeah, 14 draws. So these are the games that we need to win. But to get past a low block, sometimes the best defence is actually attack. And that's the point I'm trying to get over. I just want Arsenal to be that different mentality going forward. So if I put Sunday into perspective, I would have had Martinelli, and I said this all summer on the shows again, so I'm not a flip-flop, Paul, but thank you for calling me that. I appreciate that. I would have Martinelli not coming back over the halfway line. I would just have him like a Salah and say, Martinelli, just you sit there. Let the other team think about you, and we'll deal. This defence will deal with it. That's it. And I would have possibly had understood Calafiori, and I love Calafiori. I think he's an amazing player, and I love him. But I would have possibly had Miles O'Skelly in there just for the defending aspect to say, Martinelli, just stay up the pitch. So I would slightly just do it different. And I'm not a coach. I've not got coaching badges like Paul or you guys, etc. I don't have them. I just see football through my eyes, mate. And I think that this is it. And everybody's texting during the podcast. This is absolutely brilliant. But anyway, it's distracted me. Richard, continue.
I'm texting my wife because she's in London. Carry on.
My thing is that I think yesterday is a unique. I don't think we will struggle. We didn't struggle against Leeds. We didn't struggle against Nottingham Forest, and I don't think we'll struggle against the likes of Burnley and West Ham to break them down. What you have to remember, and I had the clips. I tried to open them up, and I explained earlier from the first half is ball went out to Madueke. He was clear. He ran at Nico Riley and Vardiol, and they defended well. And Man City have top class defenders. West Ham, Burnley have good defenders, but they're not top class. This is where we will have more joy against those teams if they employ the low block, because their defensive abilities aren't quite there, and there will be a few moments where we will have chances, and we've got to take those chances, of course. But that's down to the players to take those chances that are on the pitch. And and Paul, I think Paul's probably a coach. You can train and you can give your players enough information and a job, but once they step across that white line, and I as a scrum half for under 18s know that if you don't stick to that plan and you don't do your role and you don't do your job and you don't do it to 100%, you end up losing it again. You have to you've got to execute what you've trained and planned for all week. Otherwise, you don't win.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think we've come to an end.
Yeah,
here,
I think
really,
it's
because is there much more? Is there much more
No,
we can say?
I was going to. I don't know if we were going to touch on the Port Vale.
Do you know,
game.
Richard, I agree with you. I agree with you, and I agree with you guys, and I see your points. I just want more from my football club this season.
Yeah, so do we.
Exactly, all we do, and that is it. And the passion's there. And that is it. So, sorry if I've came across wrong, and thanks for having me on
you've got
tonight.
an opinion, and it matters, like everyone else's. It's just when no single fan is ever going to agree on the way Arteta should set up or what selection you should take. But what we've got to realise is that we're only fans. We haven't got the level of coaching he has.
Who's got OnlyFans?
Oh yes, I know.
That's
Mark's got an OnlyFans. I've set it up.
I didn't create it, Richard. I did
This
not
was-
create that.
I created
This was
it for
great
you.
from Hente.
Oh man, I can only imagine. I'm scared to even. I don't even actually want to type it in my phone to see if he has actually done it.
No, the thing is we've got to support the manager and the team whilst they're there and not on the pitch. We can criticise them if we think they've got it terribly wrong and perform badly. They deserve the criticism, but there's a line to cross from criticism to abuse, isn't there? And it's a very fine line.
Absolutely, and I don't think I've been abusive.
No,
Richard,
I don't think you have, but I'm just saying it's.
Yeah.
There are some sections and some people out
100%.
there.
I saw through my own glasses a certain game of football, and I put on the podcast. And Des, if you don't mind, no, it's a Big Sunday show. We'll be dropping Gunner to Gunner, and I've got Ed, the journalist, that's coming on. So that's going to be recorded tomorrow. I think it'll be dropped before. I'll drop it Friday, I think, because I think you guys have got the women's show.
Yes, we have on Thursday.
On Thursday, yeah. So I'll drop that Friday. Yeah, I'll drop that Friday. To just get an Ed's view, and it's his debut in the North Bank, which will be amazing. So really looking forward to that.
Yeah. Just before we close down and talking about abuse, I think we should condemn the abuse and the death threats that Erling Haaland received over Snapchat from people, and the abuse the City bus was a subject to on its way home from leaving the Emirates Stadium.
100% back to that, Richard. There's no need for it whatsoever. And
hopefully they're caught and given bans. I mean, it's through Snapchat, so it's going to be hard to find the person. But
disappears in 24 hours, isn't it?
Yeah.
Paul, can you do me a favour? Can you close this one down?
Yeah, we'll do, mate. We'll do.
I've just had some bad news, and I'll tell you in the green room.
Right. Sweet. Okay, everyone. Wednesday tomorrow. Off to Port Vale. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next shows over the next coming days.
Thanks for hosting, Des.
Thank you, Des. Rick,
Thank you for being here. I
Mark,
appreciate
and
it.
myself.
Thank you.
See you
I'll see you in
soon.
the green room.
See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers.